Yo, so I do wear compression pants. They're so comfortable they feel like I don't have any pants on. But here's the rules to compression pants. For one, wear a shirt long enough that's long enough to hide your good goods. And for two, if you're gonna do something overhead, your good goods come out. It's okay. So it's okay. It's anatomy. It's anatomy. Whatever. If there's a little bulge there, that's how God made you. It's fine. What I tried to hide the penis head. If you can see the penis head in the helmet, your compression pants are way too tight. You need to put a towel, put a longer shirt on. Compression pants 1-on-1 with Frost Money. At the Shine Time open mic this month, the competition was fierce. A lot of dope talent pulled up trying to win. The prizes were $150, a free music video from Television, and getting to perform at Frost Night 2022. We left the last slot open. There was so much dope talent out. I would love to load their music, but I don't want to get hit with no copyrights or whatever. But super dope. I officially met Johnny Wayne back when I was doing Streets Might Be Icy with EJ Carter. I was in a situation to like one of the artists was dropping off the bill, and I really needed this show to work. So I had my eye on Johnny Wayne for like a while, but I was just having a real tough time of linking up with him because he stays booked. He stays busy. So that little bit of downtime to book him, it wasn't coming anytime soon. So what Streets Might Be Icy, I just reached out to him as a last minute fill in. He probably jumped on the show probably like 4 to 5 days before the show. And it was on some like, I need someone solid to come in and help get the show over the hump. And even with just a few days, he was able to bring a lot of people with him. And not only did he bring a lot of people with him, he had a real dope stage show. And he was also extremely likable. And it just seems like I'd known him before. It's just, he has a certain aura and a certain vibe about him. He's just like a real good, real dope, genuine dude. His music is quality. He has the fan base. He is really something special. I really see him taking off. I consider him already taking off, but I could see him taking off within a matter of months, any day now. He's real special. He's on point. The music's on point. Real good dude. Strong following. So I just had to have him on Frost Night 2022 because I figured if he could make that much, if he could bring that much to the table with just 3 to 4 days, imagine what we could do if we grinded for 2 months together. So I definitely had to have my boy on Frost Night 2022. Real good guy. Just really got acquainted with him last year, and I have a feeling this is going to be a friendship on a business level and personal level that will continue to grow for many, many years to come, and we're going to continue making history together. The homeboys, Two Tucks, I really rock with them. They real good people. How I originally got into contact with Two Tucks, they were actually on the Pop's email list. But to be completely honest with you guys, like there's like hundreds of emails that comes into Pop's nightclub like all of the time. A lot of the emails, are some stuff that I don't want to be bothered with it. But if you kind of dig through it, every once in a while you will find a gem. And Two Talks was definitely like that gem. I had conversations with them. I checked them out, and they were the type of artists where like their marketing, their music, their branding, everything was on point. That I didn't test them on those small shows. I just brought them over to perform at Pops because they were more than ready for it, and I wasn't wrong at all. They pulled up. They had a real good crowd. They're extremely turned up. The interesting thing about Two Tucks is like they're turned up, but they're also lyrical at the same time. They really are the best of both worlds. Like, they're just really, really dope performers. And on some behind the scenes stuff, I did have a situation at the show that I originally booked them for like last summer. Like, one of the artists couldn't go on stage because they had some type of situation. And them boys were like willing to switch their their sets in order to help the show moving forward. And I don't know what y'all know about STL rappers, but I tell you what, they do not like going on earlier than like what they were supposed to. But they did that. So with that, they showed me that they know how to play team ball. They have a lot to bring to the table. They're lyrical, they're turned up, they're hungry, they're motivated, they're smart, they're intelligent, and they really understand this like on a whole different level. Like honestly, they could headline on their own. I just wanted to run one up with them real quick just to add gasoline to that fire. The Homeboys 2 Tucks, yeah, real dope pick, Frost Night 2022. Q Baby, that's the homie. Extremely dope, extremely talented. I worked with him on the Rocky Maverick Frost Money Presents Halloween bash. He pulled up, killed the stage on point. He has real good management behind him too. I was impressed with him and his management. Just showed up on time, just no BS, no hassles, just not a problem. So he was on my radar. He was definitely on my radar for Frost Night. And as things got closer, Q Baby actually reached out to me asking about Frost Night, not even knowing that I was looking at him for it. And, he was just asking questions about it, and then he started, talking about the history about it. And that's where I became extremely impressed. Like, okay, not only are you talented, not only do you know how to handle business, not only do you have good management behind you, you also understand the history behind Frost Night. And that was all I needed. That was all I needed. Because like I said before, what's important is you need to understand the mission. If you don't understand the mission, no matter how talented you are, it ain't finna work. So he understands the mission. He understands like what's behind it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm the type of person, like, if you're not super excited to be on the show, then I don't want you on the show. So Q Baby is one of those situations where he hits the check in every single category. Everything's on point. He gets it. He understands it. He's young. He's coming up. He's fresh. He's new. He's a hustler. You know what I'm saying? He's on point. He handles his business. You know what I'm saying? And I must say, coming out the gate, there's always kind of like one artist that I notice that's kind of like, okay, this is kind of like the front of the class as far as like coming out the gate and like doing everything they need to do. It's Q Baby. You know what I'm saying? He's the one, if he has a question, he's finna ask it. He's gonna go the extra mile. He's also thinking strategically. Also, he just did like this ticket giveaway on his Instagram page. This man done sent me like 20 Instagram followers just cause. You know what I'm saying? So that's some type of stuff that you'll only do if you're completely in tune and you understand the mission. Q Baby, hell of a pick. Super happy to have him on the team because he's doing it. Like, he's really killing it for me. Like, for real dope dude. Yeah, check out Q Baby at Frost Night 2022. The homeboy Ayo Band. So what had happened, the homegirl Krista, aka the networking queen, hit me up saying, hey, I need you to check this artist out. Now, me and Krista, we have that type of relationship. If she asks me to check something out, I'm always going to at least check it out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to let her head get a little big. 90% of the time, she be right. You know what I'm saying? So I checked dude out. The music was on point. I was like, all right, like, he dope. So let me, test him out somewhere, see what he talking about. You know what I'm saying? See what it's like. So I booked him to open up for Zeus Rebel Waters at the Red Room in the Oz. This was a show that we did over the summer. Real dope show. So Ayo Bands, for one, he's the type of artist that's going to re-up with you. Meaning he's going to sell the tickets that you give him and he's going to come back and ask for more. For one, that's how he popped it off. For two, when it was showtime, those bodies pulled up for him. The music was extremely dope and on point. Everything mixed and mastered and sounding how it needs to sound. Sounding better than 99% of the stuff that you hear on the radio. And then he had like a lot of cameras on him too, like while he was performing. So what I noticed is this man has an it factor. This man has star power. This man has something about him that's extremely magnetic that people are attracted to. So I made that mental note, and I was just like, I'm going to need old boy on Frost Night. So when the time came to it, I asked him. He said yes. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to run it up and make history. Like, musically, one of the best picks of the bill. Everybody on the bill is dope, but Ayo Band's, like, musically, like, he's pretty dope. You guys are really going to enjoy his set. And if you don't know him, you finna know him. You finna find out. Ayo Band's Frost Night 2022. I am Carly. Love her to death. Very sweet girl. Extremely dope performer. It was actually my homeboy Rico who brought her to my attention. I was doing a collaboration show with him over the summer, and I let him handle half of the booking. So Carly was one of the performances that he picked. So already off the rip, I was peeping her social media. I was just like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, the music on point, you know what I'm saying? She has a good look to her. You know what I'm saying? She's funny. She's very relatable. Just seemed like a real good person on social media. So I'm like, we're going to see what that business is like. So she pulled up, brought the most people to the show that she was booked on. And the interesting thing about it is she was repping that 573 coming all the way from Perryville. And she was repping that hard. And she had the whole gang with her. And she had a dope set. And the interesting thing about Carly is, like, she has like a lot of fun party music, but there's also like a message underneath all of that. Like, she has a real story that she wants to tell, and she's been through some shit. So I can relate to her in the aspect of what you see on the surface level isn't necessarily what's under the surface. If you come a little bit closer, if you pay attention, you see that there's a message here and there's something real going on. And when you see Carly, it's more than just a pretty face. She's a real hustler. She's a real grinder. She's a real motherfucker. And she's like one of my favorite acts on the bill. Extremely dope, extremely talented. And, when Carly's on the bill, all the baddies come out. When Carly's on the bill, all the baddies come out. So it's extremely dope to have Carly on the bill. For sure. Frost Night 2022. We turning up. So the homies No Curfew, that is a situation of my homeboy Rico had hit me up one day and he was like, bruh, like, look, I was at this house party and these kids perform and they was like about 200 deep at a house party performing. I was like, what are you talking about? That sounds crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I did the research. I checked into some things. I noticed they were aligned with my guy, Colin Winfrey, who's a promoter slash manager, like, host, entrepreneur, up and coming guy that like I truly respect. He's definitely made some pretty dope moves. Like, he's ahead of the game for his age for sure. So I was like, okay, they align with the right people. Rico saying that they be pulling up deep. Let's test them out. Let's see what's to it, right? So I booked them for the Halloween bash with Rocky Maverick. They showed up on time, handled business, had a good crowd, one of a strong crowd with them. Good stage performance, had their own DJ, just extremely on point. But they were new, they were fresh, and they were young. And that's also like one of the main things about Frost Night is like we use this situation, we use this platform to usher in the new and the up and coming, and they're definitely new, young, and up and coming, and just like a breath of fresh air. And they will be bringing people to the show who may not be hip, to Frost Night or the FMP brand. So, and that's what it's about. Keeping this thing growing and keeping this thing going is for older cats like myself, linking up with younger cats like No Curfew, and finding a way to run it up. That's the best way that we could bridge the gap and continue to flourish and grow together. Because my fans gonna be your fans gonna be my fans, and we both gonna walk away from the situation with more fans, and it's gonna help everybody out. They remind me of like STL, like Odd Future, but even that's kind of a stretch because really these kids are really doing their own thing. These kids are original. These kids is on point. These kids is about their business, and these kids are unique. Shout out to No Curfew. Like, I'm extremely happy to have them on the bill. To be honest, like, it was a situation where like I had to line up together, and No Curfew was definitely up there to be like a top pick. But it was on some like, if you add on No Curfew, that's just being completely unapologetic that we finna run it up if you add No Curfew to this show. And I thought about it. It was like pressing the red button. Like, do you press the red? Fuck it, we're pressing the red button. We're putting No Curfew on the show. We're being unapologetic about it. We're taking over the scene for tonight. We're going to have a little bit of everybody in there. Shout out to my homeboys, No Curfew. We turn it up. Frost Night 2022. Ghost 314, extremely dope, extremely lyrical. He's the Marshawn Lynch of the situation. Extremely talented, like he's the muscle. Like if anybody wants to come outside their mouth and try to say those Frost Night niggas can't rap, I'm sending Ghost on you. Facts. I'm sending Ghosts on you. That's what's gonna happen. Just real dope. Just a hustler. He gets it. He understands. He shows up on time. He handles business. He also makes sure to be in a constant communication with me whenever we have worked in the past. And that's another important thing about being on Frost Night is like, do you have the mindset to run this mission with me? That's the main thing that I'm looking for. And he's always showed that he's about his business and he's down to communicate and he completely gets it. Ghost was definitely like one of the acts that I kind of pressed a little bit more interviewing process just because we have that type of rapport with each other. So I'm just like, yo, man, I'm serious, right? And he's just like, bro, say less. I stay serious. Like, what are you talking about? Let me run this up with you. So I was just like, say less and let's lock it in. And the thing about Ghost, and as we, go on with the rollout for the show, he'll tell you guys more of his backstory, is like, I feel like Ghost is one of those guys that had a career beforehand and then had to take a break for certain reasons. And now he's coming back and giving it a run. He had to sit back for some years and not do this. So now that he's back in it, he's just trying to run it all the way up and make up for lost time. And even though my circumstances were different for the reasons I took my break a while ago, I can relate to that and I can sympathize with that. And like, I'm all for it. Like, I'm all about, running it back up and redemption. He has a song, Work, being played on the radio at 5 o'clock. So if you're driving home from work in traffic at 5 o'clock, yeah, that's Ghost 314 you hearing on the radio. Real talented dude, attacking the field from multiple angles. He's over here messing with the backpack guys. He's over here messing with the street guys. And now he's on Frost Night 2022 messing with the party guy. Real dope dude, extremely talented. The muscle of the bill. Ghost 314. Oh yeah, my homeboy Cook. I've been knowing Cook for a while. I feel like he's been kind of in and out the scene for like a minute, but for like the last 2 years, I noticed he's been a lot more consistent. And it was a situation where like I booked him and his group Vibe to come perform at Pops, and they just had like a real amazing performance, like a one-on-one, just on some like, we've never seen no shit like this before. It was just really good, super dope the whole way through. He pulled up, he did numbers, he was super great. Also, Cook has been on my street team for like the last year now, so he's an extremely selfless human being. He's been sharing these flyers with other artists on them like for a while. You know what I'm saying? He's completely behind every event that I put out, and just a real dope dude. I feel like he's one of the leaders of the new school. I see a lot of potential in him. I think he's very smart. I think he's very talented. I low-key been kind of trying to sweep him a little bit underneath my wing a little bit more because, it's bigger than just rap with Cook. You know what I'm saying? I honestly feel like he could be a big promoter in this town too. just the man can honestly do anything that he puts his mind to, whether it's like pulling up for a big boy show at Pops or doing a last minute fill in for me at the Red Room at the Oz and completely showing up and blacking out and spazzing the fuck out on stage and lighting the building on fire. Like, dude is just a real special cat. He's an artistic dude that could bring the ruckus. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I love about dude. Don't let the paintbrushes fool you. Cook comes to fuck shit up. Frost Night 2022. The homeboy Lil Stackin. Now Lil Stackin, for the most part, he has came up with me the hard way, the real way, the work yourself up way. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes people could kind of finesse and move around like certain things, but anything that I'm doing with stacking is because he earned it. It was a situation where my homeboy, Mike Evans, he did hit me up, ask me to check, his people out. I checked him out, but it was on some bare minimum type stuff. It was on some like, look, I got a show on Friday. If you want to kick it off for us, go for it. You know what I'm saying? And like, he probably had like 8 days to like make this work. So he pulled up, 8 days notice, had a crowd with him, murdered the stage, one of the best acts of the night. You would have thought that he was on the bill like the whole time. So that was enough for me to make that mental note and be like, okay, I'm going to put him on the Pop show. So I put him on the New Wave show at Pops, and he sold the most tickets that anyone has sold in probably a couple years. Like, it's been a while since Cat's been moving over 100 tickets, to be honest with you. But he pulled up and he did that. He did that with ease, had a great stage show. And I was hearing stories about him being at the Galleria Mall, selling tickets to strangers. And I found that very dope, too, that he was willing to go old school with it and hop out here and do that footwork. You know what I'm saying? Just a natural born star, a natural born hustler. He gets it. He understands it. Some people are just a little bit deeper than rap, and some people are just a little bit more realer than rap. And Lil Stackin is one of those guys. He sees the field, overall. He's seeing everything. He knows how things goes. He understands how things work, and he's extremely talented. He's young. He's fresh. He's dope. I'm extremely happy to have him on the bill, and he completely, busted his ass to get to this point. Shout out to Lil Stackin, Frost Night 2022. The final pick for the show, Asia Marie. Beautiful voice, talented, just extremely talented. Asia Marie, like, shoot, I ain't even known Asia Marie for more than 2 months now. You know what I'm saying? That's how new and fresh she is to me. I'm just now learning about her. I'm just now getting hip. I was doing an ugly sweater party with my homeboy James Alexander. You know what I'm saying? Quick little pop-up show we did. And, she pulled up and, she wanted to perform. I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? She had on a Christmas sweater. That was the thing that really stood out to me, because it was an ugly sweater party, and she was like one of the few people who actually had on an ugly sweater. So I was just like, you know what? I'm already rocking with you because you rock with the theme. So, she went on stage and she was dope. Like, she killed it. Like, I noticed that her voice was very strong, but there's also something kind of like unique and edgy about her. So I took a mental note on it, but, honestly, at this point, my Frost Night picks are already picked. You know what I'm saying? By that time, I want to say the show was already, announced. But I was just like, yo, she dope. I'm going to keep an eye on her. You know what I'm saying? And then, the next week after, we had our Shine Time open mic that we do every month. But this time, one of the prizes was being on the bill for Frost Night. So we were letting the last pick be whoever won the open mic, for that month. And Asia Marie pulled up and she won the open mic. And winning that open mic, for one, it's tough because there's a lot of people that perform at the open mics. We probably have 25 to 30 different acts that perform at the open mic. And for this one specifically, and it may have been because that Frost Night spot was on the line, I felt like the talent was just like extremely like next level. So everybody on the card that night was really bringing the heat and bringing their best game. And with that being said, Asia Marie still found a way to stand out and win and get the W. And now she's on Frost Night 2022 with us. The funny thing about that is, like, I feel like Asia Marie is what the show was missing. She won that open mic because she was the best actor that night. But coincidentally, she ended up being like what the show was missing. We didn't have no necessarily like R&B on it. We got people that sing and harmonize a little bit, but Shorty could sing. And I just think she's dope. I just think she's unique. I think she's interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's just really it. Like, she's just really it. She's just really that deal. Y'all need to get hip to Asia Marie if you ain't. And I'm telling you, at Frost Night 2022, she is going to blow the house down. That girl's a superstar. Mark my words. Asia Marie's going to be a problem for sure. And our hosts, we got Kilo, KTP, and Visual Plug. Man, I really like them. I think they're dope. Each year that I pick the host, I'm always very strategic about who I pick because I used to host myself. I take hosting like very seriously. I view hosts as like the face of the show, quarterback of the show. And, they also help keep things running. They keep the crowd engaged and entertained. So the thing about Kilo and Visual is like they're pure. They're real. And they give a fuck. They give a fuck about the scene, and they don't mind giving people like their flowers. So they're definitely like a couple that like I just really kept my eyes on because I felt like mentally we were on the same like length of like, yo, it's about unity, it's about putting on, it's about giving people their flowers. You know what I'm saying? It's about providing a platform to people who don't normally get it. You know what I'm saying? And then they also do their own events. They have like this real dope show that they do. And, and they just show love. They just show so much love to the scene. And the main focus I wanted for this Frost Night 22 this year is I wanted all the artists to feel the love, and I wanted the people in the crowd to know that they should be engaged and they should be supporting these artists that are on the stage because that's what it's about. And I feel like the people that could really get that love out there and make these people pay attention to each act, and people have a real good, pure, dope, genuine energy to themselves, is Kilo, KTP, and Visual Plug. You know what I'm saying? They had to be the hosts like this year. They fit like what I'm looking for. They're dope. I like them. They're natural. They're pure. They actually truly give a fuck about the St. Louis scene here. They really care. And let's be 100. Real ones is going to recognize real ones, and I've been recognizing them for a minute. That's why I had their hoodie on last year at Frost Night 2021. So it's only right that I bring them up to host this year. You know what I'm saying? Showing love. You know what I'm saying? Showing love to the city. Like, that's what it's all about. Dope host, dope event. We lit.